Hi, this is J L Zaring with One Life Live, and I have to make a run to the metal store. So I wanted to take advantage of this little trip to talk about roof racks, because roof racks are a very important item to have on your overland vehicle or off-road vehicle or 4x4 vehicle. I guess however you like to coin or term your vehicle. There's so many names these days, but a roof rack can be very advantageous for your rig, with holding tools, spreading out equipment, making more room inside the cab for, let's say, to hold particular tools that are more or less insurance tools to have, like shovels, high lift jack, sometimes spare tires. If you have such a large spare tire, it can't fit on your vehicle, so you put it on top on the roof rack. And then there's times where I will go on a long trip and I have a lot of people, or your faithful dog, or dogs plural, and it really opens up a lot of room again inside the cab. So a lot of people right away, they jump into getting a roof rack. And so I wanted to talk about that, because sometimes some people don't pre-plan in advance as far as all the possible needs they might want out of the roof rack, and maybe they might not get what they really need. Maybe it's not strong enough, or maybe it's not large enough, or maybe they can't extend it, or maybe they don't want an extendable one. What is the best roof rack ever? Just the end-all be-all of all roof racks. The one you should buy, the ultimate one, the supreme one. In fact, I'll probably name the title of this video, The Ultimate Roof Rack to Buy. Okay, it's kind of like a trick question, because there isn't one. There isn't an ultimate roof rack. Let me say that again. There is not an ultimate roof rack. Now, some people might say there is, and some people might claim their roof rack is the best ever. But really, the best roof rack is the one that you are going to need for your situation and for your rig, for what you are doing. I love people in front of you that don't know where they are going. So they brake and stop, and the signals go left, signals go right. They're not quite sure. Okay. Have you ever wanted to be in two places at the same time? So two different places. Yeah, that makes sense. Of course it makes sense. Two different places at the same time. Well, this is sort of like that. While my one self, the other J L Zaring, is driving down to some metal shop, going on and on about roof racks, about the ultimate one, and of course there's not an ultimate one, and all the different reasons, and on, driving down. I'm here, and I'm going to be checking out the roof rack on top of the Ford Expedition I have. So that is what I'm going to do. And if you didn't notice all the swords in the background on my workbench, well, of course, any cool overlander or 4x4 or off-roader is going to have a sword. And I imagine you know that by now if you watched any of my other sword videos. It's because sometimes the trail gets overgrown. And it might seem funny to have a sword, but guess what? Swords are cool. So when I take out my sword compared to the guy that might have a little knife, or he grabs this chainsaw for brush, which is sort of silly and loud, or a weed whacker, which I highly doubt anyone has a weed whacker out there, I will have my sword. And again, everyone thinks swords are cool. Kids think swords are cool. Guys think swords are cool. Girls even think swords are cool. Now the concept might not be that cool, or might be cool. The bottom line is when you finally get that awesome sword in your hand, it's cool. It's kind of like the axe on your rig. You might not ever need it, but it looks cool. What is most important is first to analyze what you need the roof rack for, and look long term. What might you use it for in the future? Maybe in the future, could you ever put a roof tint on the rack? Because that's more weight. Or maybe might you bring more people on the trip? Or animals? For me, it's a dog. I know some people have brought their cats. I so far haven't bonded with cats yet. But other people have. So that's good. Maybe you might bring your cat. So the most important thing is to really analyze what you need the rack for. I know some people that they just need a simple rack to run up to a cabin sometimes, to hold a few things, and they can get away with the cheap, like, Fool rack. And that same rack, an overland person that loves to go overlanding for multiple days, they could never use. It would not be strong enough. So those are two drastically different situations. Yes, one rack was perfect for that person. Maybe that rack was only $150, where the tough, burly, gigantic overland guy with his massive equipment and huge roof rack, he wanted the $800 one. In fact, he wanted it one piece. So there's no sections that could come loose. Who knows? And so he wanted it alloy instead of steel that can possibly rust, because he doesn't ever want to bother repainting it. So he gets an alloy, which, mind you, can still rust a little bit. So you might have to repaint it. It just might go longer than normal. Okay, anyway, let me get back to the point as far as roof racks are concerned. Roof racks, to me, are a must. Whether it's small or big or huge or massively heavy, where you can do, you know, jumping jacks on top of it, or lightweight, whatever. However you want to use it, they're cool, and they do help out a lot. They really do. Now, if someone has a roof rack and has really used it before, they will realize that sometimes it's hard to get on top of the roof, to get onto the rack, to get whatever tools you want, or even the tools on the side of the roof rack. Now, I know some Jeeps and other different rigs have like really cool ladders built on the back, and they can climb right up, but other rigs don't. So as Me, the other me, is driving down to the metal shop for whatever reason, getting metal and going on and on talking about roof racks. The other I'm going to check out the roof rack here with some cool steps. I chose a Yakima rack, I believe that's how you say it, because it was lightweight but strong. I read extensive reviews that it's held up for different people for many years, not rusting. It's metal. I can lightly weld some stuff on there if I want, with some light gauge material. And also I've read some extensive reviews where some guys have overloaded it to the max with 300 to 400 pounds, even being on top of spare tires, their whole body weight on there, and it's lasted. So it's a lightweight but strong rack. Now, is that good for you? I don't know. You have to look at your situation. For me, I liked it because I did not have $1,000 to spend on this grand rack at first, nor did I want the weight at first. You might ask yourself, why do I keep talking about weight? It's because weight does add up on your vehicle over time. If you start looking, even on my vehicle, if I start looking at every single thing I added on, it could be 500 pounds. And I'm talking about winch stuff, bumper stuff, carrier stuff, plate stuff, spare tire stuff, wheel stuff, tools, equipment. And then you start loading things on for the trip. I mean, you are really loading your car up. So again, just to keep that in mind, I remember stories about the Hummers they used in the wars overseas, and how they would keep reinforcing them and loading them up. Well, soon those things barely moved, and they weren't even working right because they grossly overloaded what the vehicle is capable of doing. Well, that was years ago, and they've since fixed those issues, but the bottom line is you can overload your rig. So just keep that in mind. Let's check it out. There you go. Here are two cool ways you could get on top of the roof. This one here is HitchMate. Not sure why it's called HitchMate. It doesn't go on the hitch. Wow, that's a gosh darn loud crow. I guess he just wants to be in the video too. I will put the links down for both of them. I set them up already to show you the various ways you can use them. This HitchMate here, it can be adjusted to go back and forth for the different size tires. Again, this is a 35 by 12.5, and it's definitely a more thick type tire, and it fits fine, and I can step right up. Now, I keep this one in the back all the time. It folds right up. I just tie it with some bungee cord so it doesn't rattle, so it doesn't drive you nuts. And I keep it back there all the time so I can get, well, not necessarily the axe, because I'm not going to use an axe to cut just little brush down that's growing on the side of the trail. But, you know, maybe there's a big tree that fell down. Mostly on the other side, which is too sunny to go over there right now, I'd use it for the high lift jack, which, guess what, I hardly use either. But if I have luggage up there, this is really easy to get up to grab anything in the vicinity on the side. But as I noticed,
over time, which other guys would notice too, or girls, is that what if you want to get all the way up on the roof? What if you want to get on top of the roof or grab something in the center of the rack? You need a ladder. And a lot of times it is not advantageous to bring a step ladder. I've tried that before, and especially I tried it in the snow with icy ground, or you try it where there's mud. It doesn't work out too well. The other thing too I'll be fixing in the future on these rock sliders, how many of you people have stepped on rock sliders that don't have grip, or those little punch hole things? You just slide right off of them. So there's a double meaning to the word slider. You can slide on rocks, and you can slide off them as you stand on them with wet, muddy shoes. So I am going down to the metal shop, the other me, to get different metal and stuff. And some metal is to weld on here for stops. So when you're sliding, it stops you. Basically grips. And I wanted them hefty grips, not just grip tape, which I figured over time grip tape wouldn't work that great anyway. But these work really cool. One step, and I'm up. There you go. And it's easy to grab. But as you can tell, it's more or less what's on the side, maybe not up here, just right on whatever side you're hopping up on the tire. So that is why I researched a ladder.
Now, for some people, it could be buying like a Yakima rack like I did, where you could add extensions over time. And I was able to grow it across the entire roof when my budget allowed, and it's worked out great. And I can even enforce it if I want, which I've never had to.
So let me step down and let's check out the Rhino-Rack. The Rhino-Rack also folds up fairly small. I don't keep it in the rig. I just load it up when it's time to go. Now, the Rhino-Rack is also meant to be used similar to this one, where you can put it up here and brace it against the tire. The reason why I did it this way is to show you how well it works right on the side of your rig. If you come down and look, there is a pad, and it's thick rubber, adjustable. It comes right down. It doesn't hurt your rig at all. Just maybe don't put it in the middle of the door. Put it more in a sturdy spot to hop up it. And it's easy to hop up. So here you go. Okay, let's make sure this thing doesn't break. And I'm doing this one hand, two legs, and I can easily climb up now. There you go. That was simple. Oh, and by the way, I did, if you didn't notice, I put a little, I forgot the name, but it's something else that the other me is getting at the metal shop. So this me is almost like a future me in two places at once. That's pretty cool. So check it out. I made this walkway and I sprayed this stuff on there. Oh good, it doesn't come off. I sprayed this rubber stuff on there which I'll note it all down in the description so you can see what I sprayed on, along with the Rhino-Rack and along with the HitchMate. There you go. Rhino-Rack, HitchMate, and I'm having fun climbing all over the rig as the other me is driving down, probably still blabbing about, you know, which correct roof rack to get. And now this one was is the Yakima with 2 extensions because I wanted it extra long for more stuff. It's because I can fit the rooftop tent up there, so I wanted more room. And yes, I've tried it and it works great, and that will be a future video, what crossbars I used and how the heck I can get it up there all by myself. So there you go. Hold on just a second, I'm gonna fold these things up to show you. And I'll go over and show you some other stuff that I've done to help reinforce it with extra roof racks, roof beam supports. Those are the OEM ones. And then there's other type of racks for the really beefy ones. Just one quick example that you could look at is like an ARB rack where it's solid piece, and they make metal ones, they make alloy ones that resist rust longer, but they're heavier, but they can be stronger. So again, look and see what's out there, with keeping in mind what you might use it for in the future and what you might add on it, whether it's lights, tools, and I will let you know that top tents are very popular. I'll do a future video of mine to show you how I did mine up there on top of this Yakima roof rack and how well it works. And it's just more or less a luxury tent. It's very nice to be off the ground, away from insects, animals, and you just feel more safe. You have a fun higher view. It's just really, really funny. It's well worth it. Okay, just like that, I folded these up quickly. Mind you, I also put some bungee straps around them because they do rattle a little bit while driving. Check out this one. This is the step one. I put the 4 bungee cords around it. No problem, it doesn't rattle anymore. This is the one I always keep inside. And I say it's about 20 pounds. Behind me, that is about as good as it gets for the Rhino-Rack ladder. However, I don't complain too much because it works really well while using it. I just bungee cord it at the top and that's it. This one weighs a little bit more because it, I think, can hold a few hundred pounds, and I'm guessing it's about 35 pounds. As you can see, I can barely extend it. I probably just tweaked my neck. You know, I am getting what is it called? It's called nerve ablations. Maybe some of you have actually had that done on your neck, but they're going to be going in there and taking care of it. And then, as you can see, I have a pile of awesome wood. So in case anyone wants to practice with their swords, there you go. Well, I better get back in the rig because the other me is really driving down to the metal shop to get metal that's already on top of the roof, because somehow I pulled off 2 places at once in 2 different time frames. But I'm gonna pop back in the rig, or maybe this could be the end, or maybe I could even pop back up to say something else. I'm sure there's something else. But anyway, thank you very much. Please like, and that's somewhere where you click it like you like it. Everyone seems to forget. Please subscribe if you're new. And I think the new thing they also have when you subscribe is a, some little bell. That's it, a bell to get notified for future videos, which hopefully my game plan is, of course, to be doing more videos than I'm doing right now. The reason I am a little behind is because of my neck. I've been going through a lot of fun things with my neck. Emma, my girl Emma here, she wants to get out. She is aching for the trail, so hopefully I get out soon and I'm able to bring Emma. It's been very hot lately, so the poor doggy bakes in the heat, so I've been keeping her here a little bit more. But more videos to be coming your way, especially after I get those nerve ablations done, which I'm so excited about. So thank you very much, take care, and until next time, please drive safe and have fun in your own rig. Take care, bye-bye. Okay, I'm back, and the camera looks crooked. Hold on. No, I think it's just my crooked arm. Okay, I'm back, and I'm a little more shaved, fresh set of clothes, and of course I forgot a few minor things. I just wanted to show you the roof ladder as it is intended to be used, which is on the side wall of your tire. So I will show you that real quick, and then I'll show you the 4 attachments I have: shovels, axe, and high lift jack attachments that the Yakima roof rack offers, and I assume many other racks offer the same thing. Along with, they also offer front or side light brackets. I have them. I have not installed them yet, but that'll be in the future. Some nice LEDs on the front there of the roof rack would be a great addition. Even though I have the other lights, you can never go wrong with too many lights out in the desert or wilderness or woods. It's nice to see things. Okay, as you can see down here, this is how it is intended to be used. However, if you find a nice sturdy part anywhere on the side of the rig, it is fine as well. Okay, the different attachments. Shovel rack. This is the axe. As you notice, and as I have mentioned in the past, I do use minor little security deterrents to keep honest people honest. Across the way there, which I'll show you down on the ground too, is the high lift jack, the shovel, and then right here is actually a spare tire mount, which comes with a center locking rod, and I more or less use it right now to hold my traction ramps instead of a spare tire. But you can use it for a spare tire in the center, I think up to a 37-inch, I believe it said, or traction ramps. Up above here, the high lift jack, you see there are 2 security mounts for locks. And that was the last shovel mount. Now, the light mounts can go up on the top or the sides. That is all up to you. And there you go. I believe now I covered it all. And those different attachments I showed you, I am almost certain that most higher end racks have those different attachments or universal attachments that can be used. And again, this is a modular roof rack, so there's 2 center extensions in there. So if you have a smaller car or rig and you only want the main part, then you just buy the main part. You do not have to buy all those center sections with it. Those are additions. And that is it. Now keep in mind again, this is the lightweight roof rack. So if you want a heavy duty one to do jumping jacks on top of, then you definitely want a heavy duty one. This one though you can still stand on. Let's see if I could get up there with 2 legs and 1 arm holding this camera. Hopefully this is not a witnessed fall. Okay, there you have it. Okay, there you have it on top of the roof rack. No, I'm not doing jumping jacks, but I am standing on it. Have a good one. Please like, please subscribe, and have a great day.